There's a lot of drama looking at the box as a potential final day option, but it's going to be all about the main break. Joel Parkinson, former world champ, taking on Julian Wilson. Julian, one of the all-stars last season, putting himself in his best year ever. Both former pipe masters now looking to out-carve each other on the main break rights today. As we look at the previous history, it's relatively even when you check out the matchups in one-on-one heats. 3 wins for Parco. Wilson with 2 wins over the former world champ with his trainer back then, Wes Berg. He was so fit and so focused on competition, and he loves to take the first wave of every contest. He'll start things off in the barrel here at main break. Always smooth, high line wrap, big rebound for the former world champ. Driving off the lip again. Looking fired up to take control of this first semifinal over Julian Wilson. And what a way to kick off your day inside the little barrel and get in the vision.
Well, Joel scratched and clawed to get that wave, and quite rightly so. A great job there doing so. He got the first significant score on the board, and that's an important thing to do. With the swell the way it is, it's going to be quite... You can see him right there just paddling and scratching. Julian thinking he hasn't got it, but Joel sneaks into it. And I'll tell you what, one of the best tube riders in the world. Look at that positioning from Joel Parkinson. And then that trademark swooping maneuver. So Joel Parkinson off to a great start here this morning. Connecting well. The only downside is that's the first wave of the day, so the judges are going to have a hard job trying to fit that in. They're going to obviously be expecting more. The swell's meant to fill in a little bit, so had that been a little later in the day, that would have been a high score. We'll have to see where that fits in.
Well, just getting started here in the first semifinal. Let's get a conditions update out in the lineup with Peter Mel. How's it looking, Pete?
I love the work of these 2 guys here. I think one of these guys that comes out of this heat is going to win this event, either Julian or Joel.
Now watching this, Pete, Julian Wilson will answer to Joel Parkinson. Nice and controlled off the bottom, front side wrap. Now he's got the lip to work with. Nice tight jam, keeping that flow down the line. Hard off the bottom, and provides a finish to answer quickly to Parco's 6.67. Kicking off on the bricks. Well, Pete Mel, watching the 2 exchanges go down, I was so impressed that Parco paddled into that thing through the wind. Julian Wilson had to step on that shallow shelf, and he has to check his foot out. Can be quite sharp. We had some really tough wipeouts over that section the last couple of days. The worst one was probably for Caio Belli last night.
Yeah, Caio definitely hurt himself. I hope he's all right. But Julian Wilson just picking up where he left off, Joe. Just that silky, smooth surfing that we've just seen him use to great success through this event. Committing to that last turn as well, right onto that shallow ledge. It's going to be interesting to see, you know, the barrel versus the maneuver kind of situation. The judges are going to draw the line in the sand and determine that maneuvers are going to win this event. 7.67 for Julian Wilson and a 6.67 for Joel Parkinson. So Joel with that nice clean little barrel on his opening wave. Julian with some clean, smooth, mistake-free surfing gets that 1 point extra on that opening exchange.
But everyone always holds their breath on those statements, because oftentimes guys like Italo can frame up their board and pick the right air for certain conditions. But you can see the challenge now with Wilson up again. Last wave, 7.67, already has the lead. Lighting up the first section with a frontside arc. Has some speed to burn. He'll just jam it from the closeout section and hop out of there. And that will be his second scoring ride with plenty of time on the clock here.
You know what, Jake Patterson said, you know what, it's that kind of day where it's going to be really inconsistent. You're going to have, you know, pulses where there's going to be lots of waves, and then periods of time where you guys are going to sit for about 10 minutes. So Julian Wilson obviously off to a quick start. A 7.67 on his opening wave. He's already got his backup. Joel's sitting out the back waiting. He's going to play that more patient game. I like this from Julian. He was in second priority, so why not roll the dice? It's not going to be a huge score, but it's a solid little backup for him, and he's got that 2-wave total under his belt right now. So smart surfing from Julian Wilson.
So off to a great start here on finals day. 2 legendary Australian surfers going blow for blow. Parco, a world champion and a seasoned vet with 12 CT wins in his career. We saw him a little bit further down coming into this event, 19th in the world. He moved up 6 spots after Bells. You'll see things kind of shuffle quite a bit on the Jeep leaderboard since it's so early in the year. Wilson now up. Parco couldn't catch up to this wave. Nice tight power hacks in the pocket from Julian. been just gliding over that whitewater section. Here comes the inside corner. There's a lot of fire and intense out of Julian's approach here at the main break. He's going to go right over the rocks. And now call for the water patrol to get him back out to the lineup.
Look how serious he looks, Joe. This is a different kind of Julian Wilson that we're watching here this morning. He realizes that he's got, very experienced Joel Parkinson. Joel's going to sit and wait. Joel's not going to roll the dice on an average wave. You see a little bit of frustration there. He knew that one got away from him. And Julian's going to drop another good score. So Wilson with the momentum at the moment. He's found that rhythm, and Joel's got to be really careful not to be too far out all the time, because right here, that first one he scratched into, just caught it. This one here, not getting it, and Julian capitalizing. Watch the surfing he's doing. He's a little bit more aggressive. He's got that fire in his belly right now, and you can see just the amount of energy that he's bringing to this wave. I love the intent, and what I like about it really is, look at the face. I mean, look how serious he is. This is a different kind of Julian Wilson that we're seeing here today.
Really impressive start from Julian. Oftentimes he doesn't mind being selective and he'll wait for certain waves. Now he's staying active, getting scores underneath the priority of Joel Parkinson. 7.67 start for Julian, then to a 4.5, but a big number coming in for Parco's mistake of being just a little bit too far out. Parco's one of the best paddlers in the game, but fighting the wind made it impossible to enter into that last wave. It's a 6.97 for Wilson, and Parco now needs a 7.97 to answer. You see the score lock in for Julian Wilson, a 6.97. 5 judges on at a time. They drop the high and the low and average out the middle 3.
Strider, Seabass looks pretty serious. I mean, is this a different Seabass we're seeing right now?
Well, definitely. Seabass, I think it's the part that we don't get to see as much because he's always, behind the scenes doing that stuff, but we just caught him being serious.
Well done. Sneaking into the locker room. Back before that, it was a qualifying series event. The last win on the QS was for Maui's Dusty Payne. And the Hawaiians have always had a strong connection to this wave. Coming back into action, Julian Wilson. Little racetrack where he kicks out of. Still our heat leader with that 7.67 and a 6.97.
Make an error like that, but it looks like he's going to get an opportunity here, Joe, to get himself back in this heat.
Joel Parkinson now setting up his forehand whip, trying to recover from the priority mistake. Nice clean re-entry off the top. Big jam on the open face. Pulls it off beautifully with that Parco style. His style always put as one of the best in surfing history. And now trying to come back against Wilson. Joel needing a 7.97 on that wave to take the lead with 9:10 to go. Coming back from the set, Ronnie was talking about mistake-free surfing. Do you often get surprised when you have experienced surfers like Joel, like Kelly, kind of make little errors in big moments?
No, not at all. I mean, you look at the playing field that we're dealing with here today. You've got that wind, you've got the chop, you've got, all the elements really against you. Joel Parkinson just managing to pull the nose out right there. That could have been a mistake for Joel, but managing to finish that one off, that's going to get his confidence back up. And now Joel's got to do what Julian's done, play that sort of keep busy sort of game and get himself back in the heat. But not surprised at all, Joe and Ronnie. With the conditions like they are with the main break, it's probably, we always talk about Bells Beach as being one of the most trickiest locations on tour. I think this is next level tricky. I mean, it's, as Ross said, the wave stands up out the back, it sucks you into really running for it, and then it lays down and then pops up on the inside. So there's so much going on, and to have everything in check every single time you paddle out is virtually impossible.
Joel definitely put the back foot down on that last ride. Only 2 turns, but a 7.27. However, he did fall short of the required score, Joe, to get himself into the lead.
That's right, a 7.27. Joel Parkinson now needs a 7.38.
He's in the prime of his life, really, and he's just got to, we'll finish that in a sec.
Wilson with priority turns around to try to make Parco pay. High line wrap, nice and tight. Goes off the lip again, hits it hard, he'll pull into the barrel. It's going to be a tough exit, but Wilson makes it. Tommy Whitaker applauding alongside Jake Patterson. Wilson's got to feel pretty solid about that. Every decision's been perfect for Julian. Now Parco needs a big answer. It's a solid wave and a big opportunity for the former world champ. A buttery highline carve. Hard off the bottom. Big free fall on the float. Pulls him to a 2-turn combo. But he executed those moves perfectly.
Yeah, he did. But then again, just a little bit more pizzazz in Julian's wave, a little bit more aggression. Joel, he just makes it look so easy. I mean, that first turn was just clinically so correct, but Julian, a little bit more aggro, a little bit more go and get it. And I think the judges are going to buy into that. I think they're going to love the fact that there was a bit more of attack mode on Julian's wave. 2 solid turns plus that little barrel on the inside. Let's have a look again. First wave of the set, it's a little bit of wind, but look at that bottom turn again. He's just got that thing absolutely on lock. Nice, seamless, clean, beautiful surfing from Julian right there. We talk about that pizzazz, that little X factor that he brought to that last turn. Just kicked that tail out just that little bit more. And the boys absolutely loving it. And then right behind Joel, watch the first turn from Joel. I mean, this is all butter right here. This is like a hot knife through butter. Look at that turn, just perfect positioning, perfect timing from him. And then that critical last turn. So I tell you what, they're both amazing waves, but I think Julian's going to get just a little bit more of a nod on that.
More waves on the way as we wait for scores from the last exchange. 2-minute warning. Parco with priority, possibly with another opportunity. Wilson locks in an 8.93. Parco an 8.23. Parco still swinging for the lead. Classic top turn wrap. Controlling the rhythm with that front side carve. Now off the lip. Always composed. And he'll sneak in that little wrap into the pocket one more time as he looks out the back. So Parco took off before he heard the situation update.
Yeah.
And had to keep moving.
I think if you had heard that, Joe, I think he would have let that wave go. Honestly, you can see a little frustrated with that decision right there.
And now Julian will just have fun on this wave and prepare for a big final at the Drug-Aware Margaret River Pro. Just a late hit and he takes a wipeout. It's normally not how you have a victory lap. You're supposed to enjoy it a little more.
I was about to say, don't break your board, don't hurt yourself. But yeah, just back to Joel, it came down to missing that one wave. Had he got that wave, he would have dropped to 6.97, which is what Julian did. It put him in great rhythm. He would have got that 8.93 that Julian got. It would have changed everything. It was that sliding door moment. Julian capitalized on it. Julian still had to rip that wave apart, even though Joel did make the mistake. Julian did capitalize on it, and that was all she wrote.
And Julian evens up the score with Joel Parkinson. 3 heat wins apiece for these two Australian legends, and the former world champ, former event champ as a QS, out of the contest. And Wilson with an opportunity to take a huge event win here at stop number 3 of the Samsung Galaxy Championship Tour.